good, Commanders fans, and happy Friday. Huge game on Friday, divisional game versus two, I'm not going to say evenly matched teams, but every time we play the Giants, it comes down to the wire. It was even a tie last year, but huge game on Sunday. I can't wait. Definitely a game we got to take advantage of. But before we get into this preview, today's episode is brought to you by Critical Peak Services. Make sure you guys check them out. You can use my promo code COMMANDERS when you call in. Make sure you guys give them a call at 877-247-9767. You get 10% off your first service call and your first service done by Critical Peak. They do breakers, panels, security cameras, lighting. If you want to upgrade your lighting outside or in front of your house or by your pool or anywhere in your house, they do security cameras. They do car chargers as well. And they do basement lighting. If you want to upgrade and have nice recessed lighting in your basement, in your man cave, make sure you guys check out Critical Peak Services, man. They've done a lot of residential commercial work. Make sure you guys give them a call at 877-247-9767. They'll come out and do the work for you guys. Make sure you guys give them a call. The code is COMMANDERS. You get 10% off. All right, so let's get into the preview. Let's get into the injury report here real quick because the big thing is Daniel Jones going to play or not? Now, of course, I don't think Daniel Jones is the greatest quarterback in the world, of course. I think he's a mid-tier quarterback at best. But he's made a career off of beating us. He is 5-1-1 against us. You know, the only reason why he really has gotten paid is because of us. We just give him the confidence every season. We always help him out, and he always has the get-right game against the Commanders. Last year, he had a solid season. Not a great season, but a solid season. They did make the playoffs. He just didn't make mistakes. Saquon had a great season, and they won a lot of close games, and they made the playoffs last year. This year, they're not winning those close games. They're not really in close games at all. They're usually just they got beat down pretty badly. Cowboys had lost 40-0. They barely beat the Cardinals. They got beat down by the San Francisco 49ers 30-12. Beat down 24-3 by the Seahawks. Beat down again and skunked by the Dolphins 31-16. They just been getting cooked every game. Their offensive line is in shambles right now, so that's the big thing with the injury report as well. On our side, Kendall Fuller was limited, and he was limited in participation today, but he is going to play on Sunday. Jonathan Allen was a full participant with a knee injury. Kendall Fuller has a knee injury as well. Sam Cosmi, knee injury, full participant. He's going to play. Cameron Curl, ankle injury, full participant. He's going to play. Christian Holmes is going to play. Chris Paul is going to play. James Smith-Williams is going to play. Ben St. Juste with a hand injury. He's going to play. Montez Sweat, finger injury. He is going to play as well. Deron Payne was not even listed on the injury report. That's good news with the dislocated finger. He's going to play. So for the most part, we're pretty healthy. Other than Derek Forrest and Fedarian Mathis, that's like the only guys that are really out right now. Fedarian Mathis, we'll see if he'll ever play a game for the Commanders. On the Giants side, they have a full list of injury. Their injury report is very, very extensive for sure. Matt Pert, their offensive line, he's going to be out. John Michael Schmitz out. Andrew Thomas out. Or Dory Jackson, neck, questionable. He's had a down year so far. Daniel Jones, neck, questionable. Evan Neal, questionable. He most likely won't play. He did not participate in practice on Friday, and he's had a bad year so ffar. He's the guy that said, I remember Giants fans were calling him out, and he said something disrespectful to the fans or something like that. I can't remember what he said to the fans, but he said something a little disrespectful to the fans as well for calling him out. Saquon Barkley, of course, is going to play, but he was on the injury report. Graham Gano is going to play the kicker. Gary Brightwell, DJ Davidson, all these guys are going to play. Trey Hawkins, Wandale Robinson is going to play. And Shane Lemieux, got injured in practice. Like, this is how bruised and battered their team is with a bicep injury in practice. He's on injury reserve, so he's going to be out for a couple of games or even longer than that with a torn bicep. So they're down to they got a guy, Justin Pugh, who said he's straight off the couch, and he's going to start for them on the offensive line. So that's how down bad they are with their offensive line, who is not really good to begin with as their normal starters. They're not that great anyway, and they're down to like second and third string guys. Their starting guard, Marcus McKeithen, he's one of the worst starting guards in the league. Evan Neal's one of the worst tackles in the league. Ben Bradison is going to be playing as their backup center. Left guard Mike Glowinski is going to be starting at left guard. And then Justin Pugh is going to be starting at left tackle, who just got off the couch. So the defensive line has to dominate, man. This is a simple keys to victory, a simple game, honestly. There's nothing really rocket science with them. The defensive line, Chase Young's got to eat. Deron Payne's got to eat. Montez Sweat's got to eat. John Allen. Let's throw Casey Toohill in the mix, too. John Ridgeway. If they want to play that five-man Cinco front as well. All these guys got to eat. They got to bring pressure with four. They got to beat their man with just four. I would bring a blitz, too. I would make some exotic looks as well and bring pressure. Just bring pressure after Tyrod. Bring pressure after Daniel Jones. You look what the Niners did. You look what the Seahawks did. They made it the Cowboys 40-0. When you rattle Daniel Jones and get him out of his game and get pressure on him and start hitting him, he will start seeing ghosts. You see Brian Daboll yelling at Daniel Jones for not seeing Darren Waller. Things like that will happen when you get pressure on Daniel Jones. When you rattle him and hit him, get 5 or 6 sacks on Daniel Jones, you will take him out of his game. Same thing can happen with Tyrod Taylor. I think honestly, Tyrod Taylor might be the better quarterback at this moment, or at this point. He looked better in the Bills game than what Daniel Jones has looked all season. They are one of the worst offenses in the league. And we got to throw all the stats out the window. The Giants are one of the worst teams in the league right now. They're 1-5, one of the worst statistical teams offensively. They haven't scored a touchdown in a couple of games as well. But all that doesn't matter. The last 3 games, they haven't even scored a touchdown. All that doesn't matter because when they play against us, somehow Daniel Jones just turns into an all-pro or a franchise quarterback. So all the stats, the bad stats, we got to throw that out the window. We're going to look at them, but we got to throw that stuff out the window. And but I'm going to get to my keys of victory for the defense and the offense. But before I do want to get to a big key for the offense, we'll start with the offense, then we'll get to the defense. But for the offense is to feature Terry McLaurin. This is where I want to give a shout out to Prize Picks. Make sure you guys sign up with Prize Picks. Use my promo code RedEdOliver. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100. First time users using the link down below in the description. We got to get the ball to Terry McLaurin. And you see what happened last game against the Falcons when we got the ball to Terry. Terry had a darn good game. He had about 6 or 7 catches for 80-something yards. They have Terry with the over-under 5 receptions. I got him hitting the over. Every time he plays the Giants, he has a darn good game. He had a good game against the Giants in New York last year. And then I got Darren Waller going over with 36.5 receiving yards. The only reason why I have it going over is because we gave up yardage to Kyle Pitts last week. We gave up yardage to Cole Kmet. But a big key is going to be stopping Darren Waller as well. Slowing him down, containing him. We cannot let him go off. Same thing with Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson. All the receivers, we got to keep these guys contained. We got to contain the tight end position with Darren Waller. He's like another receiver out there. But Terry McLaurin, every time we feature him, good things usually happen. I don't see a guy out there that can really check Terry McLaurin at all. Deontay Banks is a solid corner, but Adoree Jackson has struggled this year for sure. And last year we had success. Target Jahan Dotson. We got to get him some more touches, man. We got to get Jahan Dotson some more touches, man. We got to get him some more touches. Curtis Samuels played well. Man, I saw Jahan Dotson holding the kick in practice for field goals and whatnot. That was interesting and really odd. I don't know if that's punishment because he's been dropping passes, but they got to get him involved. He's way too talented. He was a Giants killer last year. The spin move, remember that? You remember how talented Jahan Dotson and the good things he did against the Giants. He had a big touchdown catch in the Sunday Night Football game. So he's a Giants killer. Just how Terry is an Eagles killer. You got to get Jahan Dotson involved in this game. He's way too talented. Only give him one target. I get it. He's dropping passes, but we got to give him more chances and more targets to get warmed up. Got to run the football. The Giants are one of the worst teams statistically against the run. 31st in run yards allowed per game, 30th in yards per carry allowed, 26th on third down defense, 28th in points allowed. Their defense is as good as awful. Now, they had a good game against the Bills where they only allowed the Bills to score 2 touchdowns. They had a good game against the Bills. They showed some life and some glimpses. The Giants actually they had a couple chances to win that game and be competitive in that game for sure. But we got to run the football. Feed Brian Robinson. Chris Rodriguez can get a couple carries in here, but we got to get B-Rob warmed up. He's not a bell cow running back, but you got to give him at least 17 attempts, at least 20 carries. We got to get him the football. And a running game helps out a young quarterback in Sam Howell. I don't want to see Sam Howell a lot of 5-step drops, a lot of long drop backs. That's really unnecessary against the Giants defense, man. We can run the football on them, especially with Wake Martindale. He likes to blitz a lot. He likes to send the kitchen sink. So a lot of quick game, screen passes, getting the ball out of Sam's hands, get the ball out of Sam Howell's hands very quickly in this game as well. A lot of people have been going back and forth on social media and Twitter and saying, are the sacks Sam's fault? Yes, some of it is on him because he's holding on to the ball a little too long. He wants to make something happen. A lot of quarterbacks do that. Pat Mahomes, he holds on to the ball for a long time. A lot of quarterbacks hold on to the ball a long time to make something happen and make something shake. But he is running into sacks sometimes. Bud Dupree ran past Cornelius Lucas, and then Sam Howell steps up in the pocket and he gets sacked by Bud Dupree. Some of that stuff is on Sam Howell, where he is taking sacks and getting us out of field goal range, or really negating a good drive because he's taking sacks and holding on to the ball too long. So get rid of the football, try to throw the football away, and live for another down. It's okay to punt this game because we're not playing against a high-power offense. It's okay to punt and live for another play. Lano versus Thibodeau. I thought Lucas did a good job, but Lano has to do a better job against Kayvon Thibodeau because he gave up two big plays in back-to-back games against the Giants last year. And don't forget, the same reffing crew is going to be in this game. The same reffing crew that cheated us because they did not call the pass interference on Curtis Samuel, where they got bear hug Curtis Samuel. And then on another play, they called an illegal formation on Terry McLaurin. That was ridiculous. So keep in mind it's that same refereeing crew, which I think they should have suspended that crew after that game, or really just fire that crew anyway, because that was ridiculous. But Charles Leno versus Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be huge. Dexter Lawrence is a darn good defensive player. The Giants have good defensive players. They do. They have talent. Leonard Williams is a good player. Bobby Okereke, he had a good game against the Bills. And Deontay Banks, the rookie corner out of Maryland, is a good corner. He's been a good corner so far, but I don't think he can check our guys. So once again, the keys to victory for the offense is not very extensive, but and then it comes down to Ron Rivera too. It comes down to Ron Rivera too as well. And we got to finish on the red zone and finish on third downs as well and protect our quarterback for sure. To be aggressive or not, are we going to see Riverboat Ron this game? Is he going to go for it on fourth down? Situational football, going for two, situational football. We saw it against the Eagles. We saw him go for it against the Bills. It wasn't successful. Was not successful. We saw him, be conservative against the Eagles, conservative against the Bears, where he didn't go for it on that fourth down, decided to kick a field goal, where Sam Howell ran for 10 yards, broke a lot of tackles, but he decided to be conservative. Are we going to get conservative Ron Rivera or Riverboat Ron Rivera? It depends on the game flow. So I feel like, do you really need to be aggressive against the Giants? I don't feel like you have to. If he wants to be conservative this game, I don't mind it. But if you want to put the nail in the coffin and put the game away, there are some times where you should be aggressive. So it just depends on the flow of the game. Clock management. He called a bad timeout against the Falcons where he gave them another chance. So this game is really going to be on coaching, man. It really is. It's going to be on coaching for sure. Let's go to the defense turnover battle. We can't turn over the ball. That's obvious. Antonio Gibson, no fumbles in this game. We don't have time for that. No interceptions. We beat the Falcons because we just didn't turn the ball over. We forced turnovers. Let's move over to the defense. I already talked about getting pressure. Chase Young, we need a big game from him. Montez Sweat, David Mayo, Jamin Davis, all those guys. We need pressure. Daron Payne, John Allen, all those guys. We need to get pressure. Jack Del Rio, this is a big game for him. Slowing down Saquon Barkley. That's the head of the snake. He had a good game against the Bills. He had 93 yards. But we got to slow down Saquon Barkley. If we can slow him down, keep him under 50 yards rushing, I think we win this game. But if we allow him to get 60, 70, 80, 90 yards on the ground, then it's a loss. I think it's a loss if we let him have a big day. Tyrod Taylor, he's a running back quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback. I like him coming out of Virginia Tech. I've always been a fan of Tyrod Taylor. He's throwing the ball downfield more than what I saw from Daniel Jones. He threw the ball down the field to Darius Slayton a couple times, made some big plays against the Bills defense. So they got to contain Tyrod Taylor. Be ready for design runs. Have a spy out there on Tyrod if Tyrod plays or not. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Gap contain. Rush lane discipline. We always let Daniel Jones get to the outside edges and run for 90 yards or 50 yards, 60 yards. We let that happen all the time. We cannot let that happen. We have to stay disciplined and stay contained. Third down defense is going to be big. Red zone defense is going to be big. And not giving up big plays to Wan'Dale Robinson, Slayton, or Darren Waller. That's going to be huge. Be ready for them to go for it on fourth down. We saw it last year. They went for it on a 4th and 9. Continue in the middle of the field as well. They killed us in the middle of the field last year with it was either, I can't remember which receiver. Jalen Hyatt is a guy to look out for too. He has speed, so keep him contained as well. Special teams is going to be huge. Joey Sly, we need him to make all his extra points. It is going to be windy out there as well. Jamison Crowder, no muff punts. He's done a good job with that. Knock on wood. He had a great punt return. Congrats to him for making special teams player of the week as well. So congrats to Jamison Crowder. Such a huge upgrade over Dax, man. I'm so happy that we brought him in. Joey Sly, Cameron Cheeseman. We just need them to have a sharp game on Sunday. No margin for error. This is going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be an ugly game again as well. The Giants struggle to move the football. And we've just been up and down. Eric Bieniemy, use the screen game too. Use Wink Martindale's aggressiveness against him. We need a good game from Eric Bieniemy. We need a game script from Eric Bieniemy and just understanding the flow of the game as well. Running the football, screen game, getting your best guys involved. That's some of the things that Eric Bieniemy has been very inconsistent with. Getting Terry involved and Jahan and Curtis Samuel, getting these guys involved, getting them warmed up, quick plays, screen plays. Too many long developing routes, and if they are playing man, we struggle to get open against the Falcons. Logan Thomas, I would like to get him involved too. He only had one catch, so I want to see him get involved as well. We got to force turnovers. We got to catch interceptions. Daniel Jones, he will throw it to you. Tyrod Taylor will give you a chance. You got to capitalize on it. Cameron Curl capitalize on it. Kendall Fuller's done a good job of it. Ben St. Juste finally got an interception. Our guys got to catch the football. Jamin Davis caught an interception last game. They got to capitalize on it. And if they do fumble, David Mayo's got to be ready to pounce on the football and get it. So we got to have that heads up mindset to force turnovers and capitalize on them for sure. So turnovers is going to be the tail of the tape for sure. So let's get to the score prediction here. This game, it is a toss-up. Even though the Giants are struggling, they're 1-5. These games are always close. I could certainly see us tie. I could see another tie. I really wouldn't be surprised if we tied again 20-20 or 23-23. I wouldn't be surprised if we tied again at all. And I've been reverse jinxing us. I picked us to lose against the Falcons and we won. So, I hate to pick us, but this is a game that we should win. We are the better team on paper, but I could certainly see us lose this game as well because we've done stuff like this. We just got blown out by the Bears almost. We all lost 30-20. We were down 27-3 at one point against the Bears, which was ridiculous. So I do have us winning this game, but I'm not super confident because it's the Giants and it's a divisional game and we find ways to lose against the Giants. We make Daniel Jones look good, and I wouldn't be surprised if we made Tyrod Taylor look good with his defense, with Jack Del Rio, how inconsistent he can be. But I do have us winning this game. I have us winning 23-17. I actually think there's blowout potential. I do think we can actually blow them out. We are 2.5 point favorites, but excuse me, I just wouldn't be surprised if we lost this game. But I am going to pick us to win 23-17. I think Terry has a big game. I think B-Rob has a solid game. And I think we force a turnover. I think we win this game. I'm going to say Chase Young steps up and forces a fumble. We recover it in the red zone, in their territory. We score with a pass to Terry McLaurin for a touchdown. And I think that's going to be a momentum changer. Somebody forces a fumble. Somebody makes a play. Somebody gets an interception, either whether it's Kendall Fuller or Cam Curl. Well, Cam Curl never gets interceptions. But whether somebody makes a play, makes a tip pass, and we just make a play and it changes the momentum of the game in New York. So I do have us winning 23-17, but once again, this is a toss-up coin flip game when it really shouldn't be. So you guys let me know what you guys think. 4-3. This is a big game, man. The trade deadline's coming up because if we lose this game, then I think we're going to be sellers at the deadline. If we win this game, you might as well keep Chase Young. You might as well keep everybody together to really make a playoff push because you play the Eagles after that, and I actually think we can beat them. Not actually, but we should have beat the Eagles the first time. I think we can beat the Eagles at home. And we can fool around and go 5-3 and really, really, really be in the playoff hunt for sure. So this is a huge game. This is a must-win game. This is the code red game once again. And if we lose this game, then I think Ron Rivera certainly will be on the hot seat. He should be on the hot seat, and Jack Del Rio as well, because the schedule's going to be a little tough after that. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. I am a little under the weather, so that's why my voice sounds a little bit different like this. And I am a little congested, but, definitely want to get this video to you guys because this is a big game. So I will be out of town during the game as well. So I'm going to try to lock in as much and pay attention to the game for sure. I will be watching on my phone for sure. So, all right, you guys. Health Commanders. Peace.